question from a journalist. He said, so what's your next movie? And I said, Jesus Christ, Lust for Glory. And, you know, there was laughter. And then a few months later, we went off to open the movie in Amsterdam.
And we were all on a little pub crawl that evening, all except for John, who scarpered off, and I don't know what became of him. But Eric was talking about, because Eric has always got Eric is a forward thinker. And that's when he came up with Jesus Christ, Lust for Glory. And I just fell off the stool I was on.
And we did a series of very blasphemous jokes about... I loved the idea that Christ was a carpenter, but it was very bad joinery. And he kept falling out. He said, no, you didn't need to put a 2x4 divot. Just, you know, no, wedge it, yeah. Just get the... So that was a whole riff we did. Well, this can't possibly be it.
We thought at the time, this God made us laugh, but we thought, hang on, we've got to decide how we deal with the character of Jesus. Do we make jokes about Jesus, or do we have Jesus in the film but make the jokes somehow sort of separate from him?
And the interesting thing was we found out that Jesus Christ was not pervious to comedy. There's nothing he says that you can laugh at. You know, we look after the poor, the meek, the sick, you know, well, that's not... Yeah, he said, look after the meek. Well, we got near it, but nobody ever mocks what's said in the Sermon on the Mount.
We wanted to focus on what was funny, and what is funny isn't what Jesus says. It's about how people misinterpret that.
What was that?
I don't know. I was too busy talking to Big Nose.
I think it was Blessed Are the Cheesemakers.
What's so special about the cheesemakers?
Well, obviously, it's not meant to be taken literally. It refers to any manufacturers of dairy products.
Its intention was kind. In fact, it really was getting at the people that we really thought must have bugged Christ. You know, people that constantly got the message wrong.
You hear that? Blessed are the Greek. The Greek. Well, apparently, he's going to inherit the earth. Did anyone catch his name?
So then, however it was, the idea of having an alternative person who lived exactly the same life at the same time, but wasn't Jesus, but was this Messiah who got put upon all the time, came up, and that was the key thing.
I'm not the Messiah! I say you are, Lord, and I should know. I followed a few. Hail, Messiah! I'm not the Messiah. Will you please listen? I am not the Messiah. Do you understand? Honestly!
Only the true Messiah denies his divinity.
What? Well, what sort of chance does that give me? All right, I am the Messiah. He is! He is the Messiah! Now, fuck off!
Before Graham started filming Brian, he had been told that if he ever drank alcohol again, probably be dead within 2 years.
Once I decided to stop, it was easy, except for the 3 days of unpleasantness. Then after that, a week in hospital, just cooling off on Valium, and I've been fine ever since.
He had been given a reprieve and a totally new life. The reborn Graham was part of the character he put into Brian.
The writing, I think, is the best writing in Python. It's political writing is what's so brilliant about it. Because it's not really about Jesus. It's about, it's about prejudice, it's about unions, it's about, terrorists. It's all that nonsense. In those 5 minutes of, the sandal, the shoe, the gourd, it tells you everything about the history of religion.
Follow the gourd, the holy gourd of Jerusalem!
The gourd! Hold up the sandal as he has commanded us. It is a shoe! It's a sandal! No, it isn't a shoe!
Cast it away!
Put it on! Clear off!
Boom! It's the most concise, wonderful bit of prejudice, heresy, and everything, and punishment.
Up you go, big nose!
I'll get you for this, you bastard.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, don't worry. I'll never forget a face.
No!
I'll warn you. I'm gonna punch you so hard, you Roman git.
Shut up, you Jewish turd!
Who are you calling Jewish? I'm not Jewish. I'm a Samaritan.
A Samaritan? This is supposed to be a Jewish section. It doesn't matter. You're all gonna die in a day or two. It may not matter to you, Roman, but it certainly matters to us, doesn't it, darling?
Oh, rather.
Under the terms of the Roman occupancy, we're entitled to be crucified in a purely Jewish area. Pharisees separate from Sadducees. And Swedish separate from Welsh. All right. We'll soon settle this. Hands up, all those who don't want to be crucified here. Right, next!
Now we come to how to end a movie where all of the characters have been arrested and are about to be crucified.
Because anyone on a cross is a sort of significant figure. That's the symbol of Christianity. And that's when Eric came up with Always Look on the Bright Side.
I just said, well, what they should do is we should have a song. We should end with a song. And everybody said, yeah, then we can have the feet kicking and all of that. And so I said, it should be a cheery song. It should be like a Disney song, a sort of whistly song.
When you're chewing on life's gristle, don't grumble, give a whistle. And this'll help things turn out for the best. And always look on the bright side of life.
And I went straight home and I wrote it. I got my guitar out and I had these sort of jazz guitar chords, jing, jing, and I did the little whistle song.
If life seems jolly rotten, there's something you've forgotten, and that's to laugh and smile and dance and sing. When you're feeling in the dumps, don't be silly chumps. Just purse your lips and whistle, that's the thing.
But I remember saying to the guys at the time, I said, we might get people, religious nutheads, sort of taking pot shots at us, and it might be quite tricky, difficult when it comes out.
I mean, the first time I was really aware of the greatness of the moment of what we'd done was with Mike and John with on the television show.
And our guest reviewers are Malcolm Muggeridge and Mervyn Stockwood, the Bishop of Southwark.
Great sort of event was the interview on the Tim Rice show where the Bishop of Southwark and Malcolm Muggeridge were brought in to attack the film, with John and myself defending it.
I know people from Clifton College of exactly your own period who are now priests in my diocese.
I remember the sermons. I remember...
You don't remember mine. Tell me what I preached on.
No idea. I only remember the bad ones.
What?
I remember a gentleman coming and telling us how very difficult it had proved to get the Bible into Tibet, you know? They'd had 7 occasions. The first time there'd been landslides, the second time there'd been rains and the pages had got stuck together. The third time... No, this is true. The third time the mules had fallen off the mountainside. The fourth time there were thunderbolts. And the 7th time he said, God helped us. And we got the Bibles into Tibet. And the obvious conclusion was that he was trying like hell to stop them getting the Bible.
And I thought, okay, this is good. We started the controversy. And then I loved in New York is where it really got interesting.
Well, the new Monty Python film is entitled The Life of Brian. It is a spoof of the life of Christ and has managed to offend just about every religious group in this city.
Monty Python's Life of Brian, a film attracting much attention. Today outside the Warner Brothers building in Rockefeller Center, demonstrators gathered to call the film blasphemous. Catholic, Jewish, Greek Orthodox, and Protestant religious leaders have all condemned the film. The New York Archdiocese officially on record against it.
And people were walking up and down with billboards outside the cinema, which of course did us tremendous good and got millions of people to watch it who wouldn't otherwise. One billboard said, Monty Python is an agent of the devil. And I remember thinking, God, I'd like to be getting 10% of what he makes. You know?
Look, you've got it all wrong. You don't need to follow me. You don't need to follow anybody. You've got to think for yourselves. You're all individuals. Yes, we're all individuals. You're all different. Yes, we are all different. I'm not.
Life of Brian isn't blasphemous because it doesn't touch on belief at all. It's heretical because it touches on dogma and it touches on the priesthood and the interpretation of belief rather than belief itself.